सहनौ भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रीगुरुदेवं चिन्मयानन्दं प्रणमाम्यहं गुरुदेवम् अहर्निशम्। धर्मोद्धारकं गीताप्रचारकं आनन्दरूपम् आत्मस्वरूपम्। श्रीगुरुदेवं चिन्मयानन्दम् प्रणमाम्यहं गुरुदेवम् अहर्निशम्। तामसहारकम् उत्साहवर्धकम् तपोवनशेष्यं तत्त्वस्वरूपम्। श्रीगुरुदेवं चिन्मयानन्दम् प्रणमाम्यहं गुरुदेवम् अहर्निशम्। प्रेमहृदयिनं परमविरागिणं सन्न्यासिनं गुरुं शिरसा नमाम्यहम्। श्रीगुरुदेवं चिन्मयानन्दम् प्रणमाम्यहं गुरुदेवम् अहर्निशम्। प्रणमाम्यहं गुरुदेवम्। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopanishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavasthita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam na vidussurasuraganah Devaya tasmai namaha Devaya tasmai namaha. Humble prostrations to one and all present here. So for the next 5 days we are going to study Gita Panchamritam, the 5 selected verses of Bhagavad Gita, which we every week chant. So let us start these 5 sessions also by chanting these 5 verses. I think we can chant together. So together. Uddharedatmanatmanam natmanamavasadayet atmaiva hyatmano bandhuhu atmaiva ripuratmanah karmannevadhikaraste Ma karma phala heturbhuhu ma te sangostva karmani yat karoshi yadasnasi yajjuhoshi dadasi yat yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam Ananyāścintayanto mam Tesham nityabhiyuktanam Yogakshemam vahamyaham Sarvadharman parityajya Mamekam sharanam vraja Aham tva sarva papebhyah mokshayishyami ma shuchah. So in this discussion, today we will take up the first verse. So we will chant that first verse once again. Uddharedatmanatmanam Natmanamavasadayet Atmaiva hyatmano bandhuhu Atmaiva ripuratmanah. Right. So the first word of this verse is Uddharet. Uddharet. Uddhara comes from 2 terms, Ut, Hara. Hara means to lift. Ut means up. So Uddharet means what? Lift yourself up. Atmana Uddharet, Atmanam Uddharet. Atmanam Uddharet. Lift yourself. But how should I lift myself? Atmana Uddharet. By yourself. Atmana means by. By yourself. Atmana means yourself. So lift yourself by yourself. Na Atmanam avasadayet. Avasadana means fall. Atmanam na avasadayet. May you not allow yourself to fall. Lift yourself by yourself. And after having lifted yourself, ensure that you don't fall down. Bhagavan, I should lift myself. Can I take some help from others? Atma eva atmanaha bandhuhu. Atmanaha bandhuhu, one's own friend. Atma eva. Atma means I, okay? I alone am my own friend. Atmanaha bandhuhu atma eva. My friend is me alone. Atma eva atmanaha ripuhu. I alone am my own enemy. This is the translation. So now, the first term is uddharet. Lift yourself. Uddharanam, avasadanam. Two terms are given here in this verse. Uddharanam, lifting. Avasadanam, falling. Rising, falling. So now, whenever this uddharanam, rising comes, naturally something is assumed. What is assumed? When you are lifting, you are always lifting from a lower state to higher state. Yes or no? Lower state and higher state, these two states are a must for any lifting up. So naturally the question is, what is that lower state? What is that higher state? Is it physically lifting? No. What are those states? What are we talking of when we are talking of lifting ourselves up? So here we have to discuss about evolution. So according to our scriptures, what is the purpose of all scriptures? What is the purpose of human life? What is the purpose of human life? So we say the purpose of human life is to attain the reality, to attain liberation, salvation, moksha, mukti, God realization, freedom from birth-death cycle. They're all synonymous. Sometimes they say to know yourself as you are. So, this journey of evolution is a journey from ignorance to knowledge. This journey is from asatoma sadgamaya, from asat to sat, from illusion to reality. Tamasoma jyotirgamaya, from tamas to jyoti, from darkness to light. Mrityorma amritam gamaya, from mortality to immortality. From imperfection to perfection. From the little I to capital I. From bondage to freedom. From Jiva Bhava to Brahma Bhava. From the state of finitude to infinity. They are all synonymous. So this is the journey, this is the purpose of human birth. So there is a journey. And this journey is from lower state to higher state. And it goes on till we reach the highest state. So there is a lowest state and there is also a highest state. So as you are going along the journey, that which was the higher state soon becomes a lower state. And then from that lower state, you see another higher state. This is a continuous journey. It is not two-state thing. Many states are there. And as you evolve higher and higher, as you go from one state to another, as the mind becomes more and more pure, you go to the higher states. And as you are going to the higher state, the next higher state becomes manifest. To give an example, from level 1, level 2 is manifest, level 3 is not manifest. At level 2, level 3 is manifest, not level 4 to, assuming there are say 100 levels. Every time you reach a level, the next level becomes manifest. Manifest means what? You are able to see it. And every time you are able to see the next level, you come to realize the imperfection of the present level and the perfection of the next level. And as you evolve, what happens to you? You experience a sense of fulfillment. You experience a sense of greater joy. You experience greater freedom. You experience greater power. You experience greater clarity. This is what is called as evolution. So since every time you evolve, you are seeing all these changes in you. Peace, bliss, freedom, perfection, fulfillment. Naturally, you will automatically inspired to evolve further. And this goes on and on and on. In fact, we have already been in this path of evolution for a long time. According to scriptures, first we had a rock life. From rock life, we evolved to plant life. Then to insect life. Then to maybe bird life. Then animal life. And after animal life, we have come to this human life. What was happening? Evolution was happening. And every time you have to evolve, there is a price to be paid to evolve to the next state. Nothing is given free. There is no shortcut. Every time you have to evolve, there is a struggle. At every stage. So in the plant life, we had struggled. In animal life also, we have struggled. How do we know we have struggled? Look around how they are struggling. Animals struggle, birds struggle, plants struggle, everybody is struggling. And the reward of this struggle is next birth, next stage of evolution. So till the stage of animal, this Uddharanam, Mother Nature takes care. You are pushed. But once you become human being, once you have your own intelligence, remember, as you evolve, more and more freedom is given to you. Plant life, no freedom is there, even to move. Animal life, there is freedom, they can run around. But still, they are to a great extent programmed. But the moment we reach this human life, lot of freedom is given to us. And this freedom, in a way it is good, but in a way it is bad also. Why it is bad? Uddharanam also can happen. Avasadhanam can also happen. Because freedom is given to you. In other cases, there is no freedom. You are pushed up. whether you like it or not. But the moment you reach this human life, freedom is given. Greater the freedom, greater the responsibility. And once freedom is given, teaching also should be given. Because freedom can be misused. In order that we should not misuse the freedom, teaching is given to us. Now, teaching is given to only human beings. Teaching is not given to animals. Teaching is given to human beings because here is an entity who has freedom to use or misuse that freedom. So that is why this verse becomes very important. So it is a loving guidance of the Lord to mankind. Uddharet, you have come to this world for a purpose. Don't forget this purpose. You have a great goal to achieve. Look into your own life. Are you evolving? Are you living a life where Uddharanam is happening? Or are you living a life where Avasadhanam is happening? Right. Uddharet Atmana Atmanam. Now, in this process of evolution, mankind, in this process of evolution, you will find that there are 3 stages. Always. Number 1, darshanam. Number 2, mananam. Number 3, prayatnam. This is how Mother Nature helps us evolve. In this Uddharanam, these are the 3 things happen. Later on it becomes Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. But in the initial stages, this is what we find. The first is Darshanam. You see something higher. If you are at a particular stage of evolution, you are exposed to the next stage of evolution. That Mother Nature takes care. You see the next level. Darshanam. Then you reflect upon that next level. Mananam. And what you find? You find that present stage is imperfect. The next higher stage is more perfect, is more fulfilling. There is a greater joy there. That next stage starts tempting you. Every stage you are tempted to the next stage. That is called as mananam. Now once it has tempted you and you start reflecting upon it and you are convinced this stage is going to give me a greater joy, greater fulfillment. What happens next? Prayatnam automatically happens. Effort. And thus gaining conviction, prayatna means putting forth effort to attain that next stage. This is how we are all evolving. This is how that Uddharanam is happening. For example, human beings evolve from the tamas to rajas, rajas to sattva, sattva to gunatita. Now let us take this example of tamas to rajas. So this person is a very lazy person. According to him, laziness is happiness. Not doing anything is happiness. What does the Mother Nature do? Expose that tamasic person to a rajasic person. And who is a rajasic person? A person who is a high achiever, works hard, earns lot of money, and lives a comfortable life. So now what happens to this tamasic person? Can he be happy there? No. Mother Nature injects worldly desires into him. Naturally that tamasic person feels, this is not life, that is life. See how much of freedom he has. He has lot of money. And because of money, he is getting everything best in this world. Best comforts, best conveniences, best school, best house, best car. Now what has happened? Now this person, the tamasic person, he concludes. What does he conclude? Money is happiness, hard work is happiness. Now he can't remain quiet there. You can't appreciate another state and remain comfortable in your present state. It is impossible. You cannot remain content in an inferior state when you are convinced that there is a higher state which is at a reachable distance. In all these situations, contentment is impossible. Because there is a desire, there is an intense desire to fulfill it. Slowly the life takes that form. Many, many births. I am just telling some few things that will happen in many births. Okay, not in one birth. So that lazy person slowly transforms and becomes a rajasic person. Working hard, gaining everything. So he is pushed to the next stage of evolution. The stage of rajas. Now, a time comes when he has achieved everything. In many, many births. Lot of money. Wonderful family. Big house. Respect. Love. But is he happy? Now, in the process, his ego is also a big ego. Now he is miserable. He has all money, but misery is not going. Earlier, what was his imagination? If money is there, all my problems will be solved. But now today, he has all money with him. Everything is fine, but he is miserable. Now he sees a next person there at a higher rung. Whom does he see? Here is a person, a sattvic person, who has nothing much, but he is much, much happier, more fulfilled, full of sweetness, full of love, much happier than him, though he has no much money. Poor man, but a happy man. Naturally comes a desire. What makes him happy and not me? Darshanam has happened. Now what will happen? Mananam will happen. What makes him happy? I have so many things which he doesn't have, but there is something which he has which I don't have. And that is making all the difference. So slowly he comes to know real happiness is a state of mind. And that state of mind has something to do with purity of mind, control of mind. That has something to do with thoughts in the mind. We have to work on that. Living a noble life of goodness, of virtues. He learns all this. Now slowly what happens? He starts giving value to that. So what is the law? Whatever you value, you will work hard for it. And whatever you value and work hard for it, you will get it. This is the law. So now he is exposed to that. He works hard, few more births, he attains that. So this is how the journey continues. So in this Uddharanam, 3 things you see very clearly. One is Darshanam, then there is Mananam, and there is Prayatnam. This is how we are all evolving. Now see, this tamasic person, around him sattvic person was always there. But he never recognized his greatness. He thought, he is also like me. He is also poor, I am also poor. A tamasic person, it is not that he is not exposed to a sattvic person, but he never understood the value of a sattvic person. He understood only the value of a rajasic person. This is what I said. From your level, you will see only the next level. Higher level, you will not see. Seeing is not physically seeing. Pashyannapi chana pashyati moodha. Those he sees, he doesn't see. You see? This vision is a vision born out of maturity, born out of wisdom. That is called as Jnana Chakshu, not Laukika Chakshu. Jnana Chakshu. Through Jnana Chakshu you are seeing something. And then you are valuing that. And once you start valuing it, you start working for it. This is how that Uddharet happens. Right? Now, as I said, in this process of evolution, number 1, you are unhappy with the present stage. Number 2, you are seeing a higher stage which is far more fulfilling and superior to the present stage. Only then that prayatnam will happen. So there is a sense of misery in every stage. Yes or no? Unless I am miserable in the present stage, I will not desire the higher stage. So it is this misery which is sometimes called as mumukshutvam. The desire to be free from that present imperfection, which is pushing me up. And then this misery is at all stages. What are the different stages we have? Sharirika, Manasika, Bauddhika and Adhyatmika. At all stages. Physical level, emotional level, intellectual level, spiritual level. At all levels there is this misery. This misery is a great blessing. Because this is this misery which makes us work hard to come out of it. The more and more the mind becomes sensitive, the more and more it is able to detect the misery of that present stage. But if the mind is insensitive, it may be miserable, but it is not aware that it is miserable. Are you able to get it? Yes. It is possible that you are miserable, but you are not aware that you are miserable. So if you have to go to the next stage, what is a necessary condition? Misery alone will not do. You should be painfully aware of your misery. Once you are painfully aware of that misery, then you will work hard to come out of that misery. This state is miserable. I am sure if I reach the next state, I will be free from this misery. Then prayatnam happens. So the necessary condition to come out of misery is, misery is always there, but are you aware of it? Are you painfully aware of it? Are you suffocatingly aware of it? Sometimes people manage, okay, little suffering, no problem. Then also it's a problem. Suffocatingly being aware means, I don't want this state. I want to come out. Mumukshutvam is there. So actually speaking, mumukshutvam is there throughout, everywhere. And it is this mumukshutvam only which is taking us to the next level. Mumukshutvam means desire to be free. Now, at different stages, let us see the miseries. At the physical level, uddharet means what? At the body level, I find that if I don't do any action, this body will fall sick. So therefore I start jogging, gym, yoga, pranayama at the physical level. And you see the results also. Whenever I exercise, do the physical exercise, I feel healthier. Yes or no? Yes. Whenever I don't exercise, I feel miserable. So the physical level, it is this misery of disease, fear of disease, which is making me work hard to come out of this disease to gain good health. There is a darshanam, mananam and prayatnam. You clearly see, if I don't exercise this body, I am going to fall sick. Very soon I am going to fall sick. For every little thing I will fall sick. My immunity will come down. Therefore, now you work hard. Once you are convinced, working hard is not a problem. The question is, are you convinced? Prayatnam happens if there is conviction, nischayam. Yes, this is the way. There is no other way. Then prayatnam happens. Darshanam alone will not lead to prayatnam. Mananam is necessary. Conviction is necessary. Firm conviction is necessary. Then automatically it leads to work, hard work. So the physical level, you clearly see, when I work hard, I am healthy. Therefore, every day I must work. Understood? What is the next level? Emotional level. Emotional level, also there is uddharet. Now this is a little more subtle level. There is misery at the mind. The question is, are you aware of it? For example, there is a misery of hatred. There is a misery of jealousy. There is a misery of revenge. There is a misery of dislike. Do you see it as misery? Or are you enjoying it? Revenge comes. When revenge comes, what will the mind tell you? Beat that fellow. Then there is peace. Now, here uddharanam means what? You are miserable with that negative emotion. It is a problem at the emotional level. Physical exercise will not help this. Okay, I will go to gym. What are you doing? That revenge is there, let it go away. Or anger is there. It won't work. When you are hungry, drinking water will not work. So then what has to be done? At the emotional level. So what is the way? Uddharet here means, how do you solve the problem? Problem is because of a negative thought, a negative emotion. Only when you replace it with a healthy emotion, problem is solved. Darshanam, first one. Observe. Detect. Have you detected it? Have you detected that negative emotion? Where is it coming from? Then what? Eliminate. How? By substitution. And then strengthening. This is the way. This is all Uddhared only. Lifting yourself by yourself. There is a negative emotion. You are suffering because of it. You want to get rid of it. There are so many inferior solutions. Inferior solutions are not going to give permanent results. What are the inferior solutions? There is a negative emotion, I watch a movie. Are you solving the problem? No. I'll go with friends, chat. Or sometimes pour out my problems to another equally miserable person. Parasparam bhavayantaha. You pour out your misery to me, I will give a deaf ear to you, and I will pour out my misery to you. And now both are happy. Yes, we both are miserable. We are in the same boat. Some solace. It won't help. If you pour out your misery to a wise person, yes, there is a temporary relief. What will that wise person do? He will say, no, this is not the way to think. This is the way to think. This is the right way. So that person, that wise man, forces his positive thoughts into you, injects his positive thoughts into you. For some time in the presence of that person, you find great relief. But when you go back, what takes over? Your own habitual negative thoughts take over. Because it's a habit. For the time being, you were away from those negative thoughts. The presence of that person gave you relief. Even satsang also gives you relief. Because you are forced to think in some positive direction. So choicelessly, helplessly, you are happy. But once you go back, when you are with yourself, then these negative emotions which are there in your heart, which have become a big habit, because for so many years you have been entertaining thoughts in the same direction, it has cut a deep groove in you. So therefore, temporarily you get some peace, relief, solace. But the moment you are alone, again the thoughts flow without your knowledge. Again you are miserable. Again you need some therapy. You see? So what is the way? Observe, detect, eliminate, substitute with positive thoughts and strengthen those positive thoughts. Cut a different groove, a positive groove, and go on entertaining that positive thought. Whenever such a situation comes, you know, in this particular situation, I am going to go through a emotional, what do you call that? Roller coaster, yes. I know when this person comes, something is going to happen. When I am going to think about this person, this situation, I am finished. Again and again in such situation, mark it, write in your diary. In this situation, this is the way I have to think. This is the way I have to think, not the other way. That is called as Uddharet. A time comes when that situation, that person, that environment is not able to disturb you. Then you have truly lifted yourself from that miserable situation. This is at the emotional level. So, at the physical level, at the emotional level. So, what is the proof that you have lifted? Effortlessly, noble thoughts flow in your mind. Noble emotions occupy your mind. So, every time mind is disturbed, it is an opportunity to learn about myself. Learn about my mind. Because mind is not something which I can see. I cannot see my thoughts, but I can experience the state of my mind. And especially if it is extreme dejection, extreme elation, I am able to clearly perceive it. Greater the pain, greater the clarity with which I perceive my state of mind. Intense pain that way is beneficial. My attention goes there. When the pain in the heart comes, you can't pay attention anywhere else. Your attention goes there. What is that which is giving pain? Yes, I'm thinking about this person, that's why. You see? Uddharet. Lift yourself. Every time you lift yourself, you are replacing that negative thought with a positive thought. And every time this is done, there is a relief. There is an unburdening. There is peace. And that peace itself is a proof of higher evolution. So this is at the emotional level. What is the next level? Intellectual level. Intellectual level is all about right thinking. Right thinking. Again, Uddharet means what? Whatever I am convinced of, let me put it into practice at the physical level. Conviction at the intellectual level should manifest at the physical level. Meaning, whatever I think right should be done, not what I like. Then the intellectual personality becomes strong. That is Uddharet at that level. Right understanding, clear understanding, and implementing those right thinking in the outer world. We have discussed this many times. Right and wrong, likes and dislikes. Many times something is right, but I don't like it. Just do it. Then intellectual personality becomes strong. There is something wrong, but I love doing it. Don't do it. That is Uddharet at that level. You see how many types of Uddharets are there? Lifting yourself up. And remember, everywhere there is a struggle. At all levels there is a struggle. Nothing is free. You take a pill and then Uddharet. Gone up. Then equally, with equal speed you will fall down also. If going up is easy, going down will be painfully easy. Nothing is free. Everywhere you have to pay a price. That which you are not aware of, that misery, you don't have to worry about that. The misery which you are not aware of, you don't have to worry about it. That is why ignorance is bliss for that particular situation. That is Bhagavan's grace. He can never punish you for an imperfection in you which you are not aware of. Did you understand? If you are ignorant of a particular defect in you, you will be blissfully aware of that. Blissfully unaware of that. That unawareness is associated with bliss. Because you don't deserve that pain. Because you are not even aware of it. But the moment you become aware, you become aware of a pain also. And the moment you are painfully aware, you have no choice but to work on it, come out of it. That is why actually our journey is from blissful ignorance to blissful knowledge. Initial state, we were absolutely in bliss. Even though we were ignorant, we were in bliss. Just like in deep sleep. What is our experience in deep sleep? Bliss. Also ignorance. Blissful ignorance is deep sleep. In the same way, in the lowest state of evolution, ignorance is always associated with bliss. So either you are blissfully ignorant or you are painfully aware. If you are blissfully ignorant, you don't have to do anything. But if you are aware, it comes with pain. You cannot but do something. And with that doing, finally where do you reach? Blissful knowledge or blissful awareness. So this is a journey. So just because I am not aware of an imperfection in me doesn't mean I am perfect. Many times people say, Swamiji, I don't have any desire, Swamiji. I am very happy, Swamiji. So they compare themselves with Sthita Prajna. I mean, Sthita Prajna, Swamiji. Oh, what? Why are you Sthita Prajna? No desire, Swamiji. The bliss of ignorance is not real bliss. It's a temporary relief because of the grace and compassion of Bhagavan. So, we have seen physical, emotional, intellectual, everywhere this is a stage. You become miserable, and that painful misery forces you to lift yourself. Uddharet. Because nobody can be happy in misery. Misery makes you introspect. You have no choice. It is impossible that a person is miserable and he doesn't introspect. Impossible. The moment misery comes, the next question is, why am I miserable? That why am I miserable is introspection. And that introspection will lead you to some truth. And based on the truth, you work hard to come out of that misery. This is how that Uddharet happens. So what is the next level now? Spiritual. What is the spiritual level? Spiritual level is the very same intellectual personality turned towards the self. When intellect thinks about the questions related to the self, then we call it spiritual personality. So how does Uddharet happens there? The first is a painful awareness. What is the painful awareness there? You become aware that your ego is the source of all disturbance. I is the problem. And the moment you drop that little I, there is relief. There is peace. To the extent you could drop, to that extent you find peace. That is called a spiritual joy. On one side, the joy of dropping the ego. On the other side, holding on to God. Two things happens in spiritual personality. Dropping the unreal, holding on to the real. To the extent this happens efficiently, to that extent you experience peace. So this is uddharet at spiritual level. How easily, effectively, effortlessly you are able to keep your ego aside and function in the world. How easily you are able to sacrifice your ego for the welfare of the totality. How easily you are able to objectify your ego and not allow it to become a part of the subject. To that extent, you will experience spiritual bliss. To what extent you can surrender that ego unto that Lord. To that extent, you will experience spiritual bliss. This is uddharet at the spiritual level. You see? Okay. So almost 1 hour we have discussed only uddharet. One person came and asked me, Swamiji, what is there? Only 5 verses, 5 days you are going to speak. What are you going to speak? There is nothing, I don't see anything. Uddharet. Now the next one is na avasadayet. Don't allow yourself to fall. Now how will you define avasadanam? Uddharanam we have defined. What is uddharanam? Lifting yourself from the lower state to the higher state is uddharanam. What is avasadanam? Falling from a higher state to the lower state. So this fall can happen only if you have reached a higher state. Person who is always at a lower state, where is the question for him to fall? Avasadanam doesn't even arise. So 2 people never fall. One who has never risen. The second, the one who is established in the highest. There is no question of fall. 2 extremes are always equal. They are similar. Extremes are always similar. 2 silent people. One person is silent because he doesn't know anything. The other person is silent because, yes, because of wisdom he is silent. 2 extremes are always equal. 0 degree, 360 degree, same. You see? So, avasadanam, what is that? That fall from the higher to the lower is called avasadanam. Now the question is, why should a person fall? Because we have discussed that higher state is full of joy, at least greater than the lower state. There is a greater joy, there is greater freedom, there is greater fulfillment. That is why it is called higher state. Why should anybody drop from that higher to the lower? One possible reason is the habit. The lower addiction is so strong that he is not able to remain in the higher level. When the lower habits are very strong, the moment you are careless, indisciplined, extrovert, you fall down. And remember, in falling, there is no effort. Uddharet, effort is involved. Avasadet, no effort. If you are not established in the higher, if you have only got a glimpse of the higher, you are in the lower, but with your effort you get a glimpse of the higher, you are not established in the higher, then there is a possibility of fall. And this is how it happens generally. You are in the lower, you work hard, you get a glimpse of the higher, but you are not established there because still the lower vasanas are very active, you fall. That current of the lower vasanas wash you down. Then again you fall, you become more alert. Now fall is a misery now for him. Why is it a misery? He has already experienced a joy of the higher state. Now anything lesser than that is going to be painful. You have experienced 100 units of joy. Then 90 units of joy is not joy, it is minus 10 pain. But for a person who has experienced only 10 units of joy, for him 90 units joy. You see? Everything is relative. If you have experienced higher, then any falling from the higher is nothing but pain. In fact, this pain makes you alert. This pain makes you alert, vigilant. Again you get into introspection. Whenever pain comes, sorrow comes, you are into introspection. What happened? Oh, I fell from that state. The moment you fall, joy is gone, freedom is gone, greater bondage, greater misery, no fulfillment, guilt, conscience prick. You cannot be happy there. Then you work hard. Again you go back. Again you fall. Because the moment you experience that bliss, you become careless. There is a law. Hrishtaha drupyati. Druptaha dharmam atikramati. You will always find this happening. Hrishtaha drupyati. When you are doing what you are doing, there is a joy. And that joy makes you bloated with ego. I did it. You may not tell it, but deep down it is there. I have achieved. That is called as drupyati. Bloated in ego. Druptaha dharmam atikramati. Next stage is you cross over dharma. Hey, it's okay. I think I am a master. Nothing will happen to me. You cross the limits. You become careless. And when you are becoming careless, dumb, fall. This is the pattern. You go high, You enjoy the bliss of the high, you become arrogant little, pride takes you over, you become careless, dumb, fall. Na avasadet. Beware. Every time you get to something higher, try to hold on to that higher. There is all the possibility you will fall. Till you are getting established there, stick on to it. Na avasadet. Uddharet na avasadet. Now, in this whole process, can somebody help me? Raising me from the lower state to the higher state, remaining in the higher state, not allowing me to fall down from the higher to the lower. Can anyone help me in this? Atmana uddharet, atmanam uddharet. You have to lift yourself by yourself. Nobody can help you. That is why so many Atmas are there in this verse. How many Atmas are there? You. That's what it means. 7. Uddharet atmana atmanam na atmanam avasadet atma eva atmanah bandhuhu atma eva ripuhu atmanah. How many? 7. I think this is the only verse which has 7 Atmas. Atma means what? I alone am responsible. I alone have to work hard. I alone have to be careful. There is no anatma here. No other person, only I am there. This has to be drilled into the mind. I alone am there for myself. This is true with every field. Suppose I am hungry, I am feeling weak. Others may cook food for you, but who has to eat? I have to eat. I am sick. Others may give medicine. Who has to take the medicine? Somebody else cannot do it. If I am to be physically healthy, I have to do all the jogging, exercise, etc. Others cannot do it for me. That is what is emphasized here. You alone are responsible for whatever happens to you. Don't blame anybody else for your misery. Atma eva atmanah bandhuhu. Atma eva atmanah ripuhu. You are your friend, you are your enemy, you alone have to do everything. Now this verse is so important, but many times, we don't know how to apply it. We wrongly apply in so many places. To give an example, Swamiji, I have paid money to this organization. Amma, why did you do that? Swamiji, my children, they don't have faith in God. They don't have faith in all these rituals. Now I am not sure whether they will do my Shraddha Karma or not. So therefore this organization is there. They have said, and we have seen that also. This organization, when I go, pass away, they will do everything. They will take the responsibility. Burning the body, putting the ash in Ganga, whatever. Rituals, Panditji will come, he will chant something. Everything is taken care of, Swamiji. Because my children, they are growing up like Hiranyakashipus and Ravanas. I am sure they are not going to do anything for me. Which shloka of Bhagavad Gita is violated here? For your welfare of the future, you have to depend on your children. Swamiji, after death, unless my children do the Shraddha Karma, what will happen to me? Arey bhaiya, 70, 80 years, what have you done? Why living? That will decide your future, not after death what others do to your dead body. How foolish. People are only thinking about this, my body. What will they do with my body? I will roam here and there like Pretatma. You see? Meaning what? What I have done in 70 years, 80 years, it is of no value. What somebody does to my dead body, that is more important. You understand the relevance and importance of this verse? While living, what you do, that alone will come with you. It doesn't matter what happens to this dead body. While you are living in the body, what have you done? Somebody doing something to your dead body when you are not there. Illogical. Isn't it? So therefore, instead of worrying about what happens to the dead body, let us more worry about what am I doing with this living body. Then you don't have to worry about what happens to a dead body. Anyway, you are not there. Comes along with you, you have already gathered. Daivi Sampati, if you have gathered, it is with you. Why? All those samskaras there in your Sukshma Sharira. Sthula Sharira is left. Anyway, it will merge with the 5 elements. Sukshma Sharira is with you. What kind of Sukshma Sharira you have? A Sukshma Sharira with Daivi Sampat or Asuri Sampat. How did you develop that Daivi Sampat? While living, I did all noble deeds. I cultivated all noble virtues. Good samskaras I have gathered. Yes, that will come with me. Now, who cares what happens to that body? Atmaiva hyatmano bandhuhu. Now here when we are saying Atma, which Atma are we talking of? Because Atma means I. Which I? Body is also I. Sense organs, I. There's a sense of identification. That's why I'm calling it I. Mind is I. Intellect is I. The supreme self or consciousness is also I. Which I? Which I? Is it the body I? Body has no freedom. Body does what the mind makes it do. Sense organs I? No, sense organs also don't have any freedom. Whatever the mind says, it looks. It is a mind. Mind, intellect together. Antakarana. So whenever we are saying Atma eva Atmanah Bandhuhu, not the other I also, Supreme Self, he is neither Bandhu nor Ripu. From his standpoint, there is no creation only. Which Ripu, which Bandhu? From the standpoint of pure consciousness, the world itself is mithya. So when we are saying Atma Bandhu Ripu, which Atma are we talking of? Mind. So when we are saying Uddharet, whom? Mind. Na avasadayet, whom? Mind. Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoho Upanishads. Mind alone is the cause of liberation. Mind alone is the cause of bondage also. So all sadhana is upon the mind only. Even the physical, emotional, intellectual, spiritual, everything is connected to mind only if you see. If your mind is clear, physical exercise you can easily do. If the mind is moody, one day you feel like doing, other day you don't feel like doing. But if the mind is clear, there is no problem at all in inspiring the body to do anything. So physical level, no problem. Emotional level, anyway it is mind. Intellectual level, that is also nothing but thoughts only. Spiritual level, again ego is at the mind level only. Your own mind is your enemy. Your own mind is your best friend. Worst enemy and best friend. Now, which mind will be your best friend? That mind which is trained in Uddharanam is your best friend. That mind which is tempted in avasadhanam, indulging in all pleasures, living a life of likes and dislikes, compromising with all values of life. This is called avasadhanam. Then that mind becomes our worst enemy. And this whole process of Uddharanam, Avasadhanam, nobody else can do it for us. We only have to do it. Others can help, no doubt about it. Others have a role to play. But finally, everything falls upon me only. What am I doing with my mind? My life is decided on that. Avasadhanam, end result is suffering, guilt, pain, sorrow, misery, loneliness. All the negative emotions are because of avasadhanam. Uddharanam, peace, bliss, cheerfulness, happiness, clarity. Choice is ours. Life is short. How are you filling your day? With Uddharanam or Avasadhanam? You ask yourself. Morning till evening, hour by hour time is passing. Ask, what are the places where I am compromising? Where is this Avasadhanam happening in my life? Mark it. Have a spiritual diary. Mark all those areas with red. Because you have to work on those areas. So first step is becoming painfully aware of all the avasadhanams in my life. Something which I said, I should not do it, but I am doing it. I must do it, but I am not doing it. They are all avasadhanam. Be painfully aware. First darshanam. It should be very clearly seen in front of your eyes. Otherwise, vismaranam will happen. Mind doesn't want you to remember all this. It wants you to forget. Because the moment you remember, there is pain. The moment you forget, there is bliss of ignorance. Bliss of ignorance is not actually bliss. Especially when you are consciously ignorant. So better be consciously, painfully aware. All bliss is not good. All pain is not bad. There are some pain which is the pain of blessing. There are certain bliss which is curseful bliss. Right. more of it we will see tomorrow. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.